Um, and now let me say a few words about David. I'm getting carried away with myself again, as is my custom. David joined the firm in 1999, and I'll say I knew David because we were in a kind of peripherally friendly, in a circle of friends, but didn't know him really that well. We were friends, mostly friends of friends. But I was very heavily involved in his recruitment. David was at Bear Stearns, where he had quite a lofty position. David was already, at that time in 1999, the head of investment banking and on the Bear Stearns Management Committee. I was there to help recruit him as head of leveraged finance, which was at that point then a part of the financing part of fixed income. And then during the recruitment along the way, we started to get cold feet because this outsider from Bear Stearns is going to come in and run such a great enterprise as our incipient, lowly ranked leveraged finance business in the context of what there was, Wall Street. I think Bear Stearns was bigger than ours anyway, but it was a long time ago. And I'm thinking, everyone said, we said, something too risky. Let's give him a co-head. So I know you've never heard this before in any other context. So now, now we're recruiting David to be, who is the head of investment banking and member of the management committee at Bear Stearns, to come in and be co-head of leveraged finance at Goldman Sachs. By the way, for those of you who work in leveraged finance, that's a huge job. And if it's your last position at Goldman Sachs, you should be damn pleased with yourself. Now, David joined the firm, and he agreed. And after it was all over, and I'm looking around, and I go to David, and I said, why? Why'd you do it? And David said, and it was simple, and it was a crisp kind of a David Solomon response, that if he was going to keep investing in his career like he wanted to be in the best place that would have the best payoff for himself for the long term. And that was Goldman Sachs versus any other opportunity that I saw. If he was going to take the trouble to try to rise and realize his ambition, it might as well be in our pond, or this pond, what was then both our pond. Now, in taking that job, and over the last 19 years, I think in many contexts that David has shown that he plays the long game. He's patient, deliberate, disciplined, and for the most part, mostly right, except for the few times we've disagreed. And very importantly, he's been a very great partner for all of us. I look forward to watching him lead the firm for many years to come and to benefit and contribute to all of your benefit from your leadership and to contribute to your growth and your improvement as leaders in the firm. I want to remind everyone here and on the call that there's plenty of time left in this year for us to have our best year ever. I also want to say that given that I am still CEO through September, the third quarter is the most important quarter that any of us will ever see at Goldman Sachs, and I expect you to leave it all on the field and make a good contribution. And again, I want to thank you all. This is still sinking in for me. I know how things go. Everybody is on as it and as it should be. But so in that spirit, I want to ask you all to join me in welcoming the next chairman and CEO of Goldman Sachs, David Solomon.
Wow.
I'm gonna hang out with you for a while.
You can hang out with me. I'm gonna start by by saying I'm with Heather too. I'm pumped. And I'm also going to say I kept my jacket on, but I am definitely not going to another bank. First, I just have to start. I have to start, Lloyd, by thanking you and thanking the board for selecting me to lead this great firm on the eve of our 150th anniversary. My God, this is not going to be easy. I'm usually very, very good at speaking in public. Quite frankly, as I think about the responsibilities that are in front of me, they're quite daunting, and I am humbled. I am truly humbled to have this opportunity and for the confidence that you and the board have placed in front of me. To all of you in this room, on the call, on the video, around the world, I want to let you know that I am indescribably proud to work at this firm. I love Goldman Sachs, and I am incredibly committed to our future together. And I start by asking all of you everywhere around the world, I ask you for your help and your support in the years ahead. The story of Goldman Sachs, in many ways, is a story of leaders. Since 1936, 9 individuals have led this firm, from Sidney Weinberg to Lloyd Blankfein. I suspect when future historians write about this period, they will talk about Lloyd as one of the most impactful and decisive leaders in the annals of Goldman Sachs. He led us through the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. He ushered us into a more complex business environment in the aftermath of that. And he invested constantly in our people and our culture. He helped the organization evolve. He made us an industry leader with respect to inclusion, and he really invested in community service. Over the last 12 years, Lloyd's left us in an enviable position. I know I've learned an enormous amount from Lloyd, from his intellect, from his judgment, from the power of his example. And I want to start by thanking you personally for your support, your mentorship, and your friendship. It has meant, and it continues to mean, an enormous amount to me. On behalf of all of us, the firm, everyone around the world, everyone on this call today, I want to thank you for your leadership and all you've done for Goldman Sachs. You have put us in a position where we can seize the opportunities that we have today and capture all that will come our way in the future. Lloyd, thank you so much. Goldman Sachs has come a long way since Marcus Goldman set up shop in a single room on Pine Street in 1869. Successive leaders of the firm have pointed to something that they've felt has contributed to the longevity and impact of this organization. John Whitehead said, "It's the things that make us special." In his words, our team spirit, our culture of service, our high level of professionalism, the pride in what we do, our culture, the key to our success. Years later, Steve Friedman said that a good organization like Goldman Sachs needs great people, culture, and strategy. And a viable strategy is by far the easiest of the three to create. So we all know, all of us as leaders of this organization, that the thing that sets us apart, that differentiates us, that makes us special, as Lloyd said, is the people of Goldman Sachs and our culture. Goldman Sachs and the world have changed in unimaginable ways over the last 150 years. Somehow through it all, we've not only survived, we've thrived. In good times and bad, in booms and busts, in peacetime and war. We have succeeded because we've embraced change and anticipated it, but also, at times, through our innovative culture, we've created it. My job is to extend and maintain that precious legacy. When I think about the talent in this organization, the power of the franchise, the abilities of this firm, I am hugely confident about the future for all of us and look forward to all that we can accomplish together. Thank you very much. I look forward to working with each and every one of you.
Good job. Thank you.
That was amazing.
All right, everybody. Let's go out there and kill it for the third quarter.